Hello YouTube, this is DrawingKid1313 and welcome to part 4 of my IndustrialCraft 2 mod showcase. In part 3 we went over some of the machines. In part 2 we went over some of the, or actually more like all of the energy. And in part 1 we went over the basic crafting. So we've covered a lot of this mod and just a whole bunch of different things about it. So in this part we are going to go ahead and take a look at some of the more advanced machines that come with IndustrialCraft 2. So enough of me talking, let's go ahead and take a look at them. Okay, so to show off this first machine in all its glory, I switched over to a normal world that wasn't a super flat world because this is the that's not what I wanted. I wanted this thing right here. This is the miner, and the miner crafted like so, with 2 electronic circuits, a machine block, and 2 pieces of mining pipe. Mining pipe is obtained by putting together refined iron and a tree tap in a crafting table. And this miner requires 3 things. It requires 1, energy, 2, a mining pipe, and 3, a drill bit. I almost forgot how to count to 3. So let's see. We have the energy part taken care of. We have our MFSU fully charged because of those things, and then we have 2 transformers that you should know about from the energy part of this spotlight. And you can see that it's powered. Now it needs pipe. Alright, so it needs that mining pipe, and it's the same type of pipe that it was crafted with. And if I can find it just real quick, ignore all the extra stuff in NEI right here. They are extra mods that I have installed. This is my Let's Play, Minecraft. So if you want to know what mods I have installed, then please just go over to my channel and find that out like so. Alright, so mining pipe, I believe that's just something else, but mining pipe, right here. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a few, and I believe that they go right there. Right here is where your drill goes, so I'm going to put my diamond drill right there. Now a diamond drill is crafted with a regular drill and 3 diamonds, but a mining drill is crafted with an RE battery, an electronic circuit, and some refined iron. It's definitely a very useful tool, and I'll get into that a little bit later. So you can actually see it spitting out all the items right here. Pretty cool. Now if we get ourselves a chest and put it on top of there, all the items should land inside this chest. Okay? This makes it very easy. And if we would notice, it's mining straight down. See? Has that cool little thing? It'll go ahead and just mine straight down. Now there's a few other functions of this machine right here. You can add in 2 optional things. One is a scanner. And if you go down to where the mining pipe head is, you notice this thing. And it has options to go and branch off to the side. And this is used if you are using a scanner. What a scanner will do is it'll scan the local area for any valuable ores or anything that would be of interest, and when it finds something, it'll go ahead and branch off in that direction and find it. Now there are 2 options for the type of scanner that you can use. Let's go ahead and look them up right now. You have an OD scanner. This is the more basic type of scanner, and it will scan and mine ore in an area of 5 by 5 blocks around it. So 5 in this direction, so it'll go all the way out to here, all the way out to here, all the way up to here, and then finally right here. Now you can use a better version of that being the OV scanner, and this will scan an area of 9 by 9 blocks, so it's a very large area. Let's go ahead and look at how to craft these. It's just 3 pieces of copper cabling with an electronic circuit, 2 of them, RE battery, and glowstone dust. the OV scanner is crafted with your previous OD scanner or an advanced circuit. You can use two different things. You can use your previous OD or you can use an RE battery. An advanced circuit, some glowstone, and some gold cabling. 2x insulated gold cabling, that is. And the scanner can go right there. However, let's go ahead and get a new machine. Just take that out. Okay, get all the stuff in it. And then let's go ahead and branch this stuff off in, let's go right here. So let's go ahead, pop it down, and put in our OV scanner. It goes right there. Alright, makes sense, right? Let's go ahead and get some more mining pipe. Got some of that. And let's go ahead and put that in there. And put our diamond drill in there. And what it should do is it should mine down. Let's go ahead and see if it decides to branch off in any direction. So I will be right back. Oh crap. Okay, I will be right back if that happens. Alright, so here it is in action. It's actually branching off and mining up that ore right there. Awesome, right? That is cool. So it's definitely a very nice way to automatically get resources, and you can see that I forgot to put the chest down, so it's just going to spit everything out. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the other option. One problem with this machine the way it is now is that if it hits lava or water, it will just stop mining until that lava or water is clear. And that's a problem because, well, it won't mine as much as it should. So the way that we take care of that is by using a pump. Now a pump, of course, can be used by itself, but when used in conjunction with the miner, it pretty much pumps out any liquid that the miner runs into. So simply all you have to do is place it down right there, give it some power, okay, and it will go ahead and just suck up whatever is, near it. Alright, whatever water that the miner may encounter, and it'll go ahead and make sure that it is safe in its efforts to do whatever. Now another thing that you can do with this pump is you can put empty cells in it. If I can find empty cells, there we go. Put empty cells in it, and it'll go ahead and fill up those empty cells. Okay, I apologize. It didn't actually run into any liquids, so it wasn't actually being used. I'm not too familiar with the interface of that, but let's go ahead and do a little experiment here. I have some manually placed lava sources below the miner, and eventually it should run into this, and we'll see how our pump handles it. So, any time now. I apologize for being on fire. Okay, so now it is at the lava level, and it should soon start sucking everything up. Or it should have at least sucked one up. Let's go ahead and check that out. There you go, long way up. Alright, one of our empty cells is missing, and it's filled with a lava cell. So, indeed, having the pump right next to it does help. I'm not really too sure about what that means, but it obviously means something. So again, I apologize for any confusion that may have been happened with that, but there you go. You have the pump and the miner. Now the pump can of course function on its own, so you don't have to have it right next to the miner. It functions, pretty much the same way. The next cool piece of machinery that we have is the electrolyzer. Now the electrolyzer is crafted with 2 empty cells, 4 copper cables, 1 electronic circuit, and 1 machine block. And the way that you use it is you place it near an energy storage unit. Excuse me. This can be either an MFSU, it can be a MFE, or it can be a bat box. So it can be placed down, and it doesn't have to have any wiring connected directly to it. The next thing that you're going to need is you're going to need water cells. So you can go ahead and get that. You know that if you take empty cells and you right click on a water source, it'll go ahead and give you a water cell. So go ahead and put these on there, and you can see that the progress bar starts to move. What happens when the progress bar goes to the end? Well, we get electrolyzed water cells, of course. So basically what the electrolyzer is doing is it's draining energy out of the MFSU. You can't really see it now because, well, the MFSU is getting a crazy large amount of power, but you can see if I disconnect that it is actually being drained power from. And the drained power is being put into the water cells, which is why you get electrolyzed water cells. Now, these electrolyzed water cells will only be produced when the MFSU is above a certain amount of energy, or EU. Alright, so if it's, I think it's more than 3/4, 75% of the way, it will start to drain power out, and if it's less than a certain amount, what will happen is these electrolyzed water cells the power will be drained out of them and put into the MFSU. So basically, it's a way of expanding your energy storage without having to craft more expensive MFSUs and whatnot. Okay, so the next machine that we have here is the recycler. Now the recycler in itself isn't too much of a complicated machine, but it produces something that is used in more of the advanced machines. The crafting recipe for it is as follows: a compressor, some dirt, some refined iron, and a piece of glowstone dust. Compressor, you should know that from last episode. And when placed down, it has a pretty cool interface. It's kind of the same of all the other machines, but when you put items into it, let's just say cobblestone, for example, it'll go ahead and work on that cobblestone, and it'll try and recycle the cobblestone into something known as scrap. Now hopefully within a few minutes we go ahead and find out what that looks like. It is a random chance that it is produced. You can see that we went through, what was that, 6 if my math serves me correctly, and we got 1 piece of scrap. And this scrap is pretty cool. It can be used for a few things. It can be used as fuel, or it can be used to craft a scrap box. Now scrap box, let's go ahead and give ourselves a few. When you right click with the scrap box, it gives you a random item. So you can see that I just got some rotten zombie flesh, and that time I got a piece of iron dust. So it's very random in what it spits out. You can see that, right? And I'm getting grass blocks, different types of ore, a minecart, a stick, piece of bread, a hoe, pumpkin, one of those little filled food cans. But yeah, it can be a way to get some random stuff. You can see that I got a gold helmet, got a sword. So yeah, very random, and not all that useful, but yeah, you should get the point by now. So now you may be asking yourself, well, what is this scrap used for, other than making random boxes that give you random things? Well, it is used in the process known as mass fabrication. Alright, I just completely made up that term. I'm not sure if that's what it's called, but right here we have the mass fabricator. It is a very advanced machine, pretty expensive to make, and it requires 2 advanced machine blocks, a lapatron crystal, 2 advanced circuits, and 4 glowstone dust. Now you can see that this is a lot of stuff, however it's well worth it. Now if you want to know the exact cost of this machine, well, I have it right here. It costs 32 coal, 10.5 copper ores, 1 piece of diamond, 8 glowstone, 13 iron ore, 10 lapis lazuli, 24 redstone, 24 rubber, and 4.5 tin ore. Now you may be wondering, well, how can you get half an ore? Well, if you remember, when you macerate an ore, you get 2. So it takes that into account, assuming that you macerate all the ores. Another thing that you may be asking yourself is, what are these advanced machine blocks, and how do you craft a lapatron crystal, and how do you craft an advanced circuit? Now I'm not sure if I showed you these things, lapatron crystals and advanced circuits, but I'm going to show you again, just in case you aren't paying attention. Advanced machine block is crafted with 2 carbon plates, 2 advanced alloys. Advanced alloys are crafted by putting mixed metal ingots into a compressor. Mixed metal ingots are obtained by putting refined iron, bronze, and tin on top of each other like so. And These carbon plates are obtained by putting raw carbon meshes into a compressor. Raw carbon meshes are obtained by putting 2 raw carbon fibers together, and raw carbon fibers are obtained by putting coal dust together. Coal dust is obtained by putting coal dust into a macerator. There we go. Putting coal dust into a macerator. And a Lapitron crystal is obtained by putting an energy crystal with 2 electronic circuits, 6 lapis lazuli. Energy crystal is crafted with 8 redstone and 1 diamond. And the advanced circuits are crafted with an electronic circuit, 2 glowstone, 2 lapis, and 4 redstone. Now this machine is special. It's one of the only 2 machines that can accept a high voltage input, meaning that you can connect them directly to your MFSU. Awesome, right? And you can see that the progress bar is going to start moving. Alright, now you can disable this by putting a lever on it. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a lever and put it on top of it. By applying a redstone signal to it, it'll go ahead and stop the progress. Now that scrap that we mentioned earlier, let me go ahead and give myself a few stacks of it. If you put that in the bottom and now you allow it to run, you can see that it's being amplified, and this is consuming scrap to make the progress move faster, but it's also using less energy from the MFSU. And eventually, when the progress reaches 100%, we will get this stuff called UU matter. UU matter can be used in a few different things. It can actually be used to craft almost anything in the game. This ranges from cactus to sand to sandstone to what else? To food, to snow blocks, to ice, to whatever you may want. But you can see that it uses a lot of scrap to produce a very small amount of UU matter. But UU matter is very expensive. It could also produce diamonds if you use 9 of them. The main use for UU matter, however, let me go ahead and give myself a few, and go ahead and get a crafting table, or this thing, and put our UU matter in this fashion. We get iridium ore. Iridium ore is only obtainable by using UU matter in a crafting table, and it's pretty awesome. While it is awesome, it's actually so awesome that we're going to have to hold off to explain its purpose and its, role in IndustrialCraft 2 for another episode when I cover the advanced items of the game. But let's go ahead and look at a few more of the machines that we have. Remember how we had the electric furnace, which was similar to a regular furnace, only a little bit faster? Well, now we have the brand new and improved Induction Furnace. The Induction Furnace is crafted with some copper ingots, an electric furnace, and an advanced machine block. Now let me go ahead and put one of these and one of these down, so that way we don't blow anything up. And put that right there, and that right there. And go ahead and hook it up. So there we go, it is now receiving power. And when we put items into here, do a cobblestone, first off it has 2 inputs, alright? And when you first put an item in, the heat level starts out at 0, and it's very slow at smelting these things. However, the heat level will continue to rise as long as you have items inside it. You can force this thing to be, stay on and, force the heat level to rise regardless of what is inside it by putting a lever on it and applying a redstone signal to it. So you can see that by taking the cobblestone out, the heat level is still rising, as opposed to having this off, the heat level would fall. So you can see that it's awesome because it has 2 different inputs, which is awesome, and 2 different outputs, so you can smelt 2 different things at once. But it's also very fast. Let me allow this thing to heat up, and I will be right back once it does. Okay, and we're back. You can see that the heat level is now up to 100%. So if we go ahead and throw some cobblestone in there, it is lightning super duper quick. Awesome. This is why I love this machine. It's so nice. Of course, it is using a constant amount of energy. See it right there. Yeah. Here you can see the electrolyzed water cells actually, helping out. But let's go ahead and hook this back up. There we go. Okay, so this is actually using 1 energy unit per tick when it's powered like this, and it uses a lot more energy units when it's not being powered but still being used. Um, yeah, pretty awesome. Okay, so the last advanced machine that I'm going to show you in this part of the mod showcase is the Terraformer. Terraformer is crafted like so with an advanced machine block, 3 pieces of dirt, some glowstone, and this thing being a TFBP, standing for a Terraformer Blueprint. And this is empty. It's just an empty one, nothing special. It's one electronic circuit, 1 advanced circuit, and 2 pieces of redstone. And you can craft it and place it down. Now this does need to be required or powered, so I'm going to go ahead and place down an MFSU with a Lapitron crystal in it to drain out the power and supply it with a good 1 million EU. Now let's go ahead and hook up this terraformer to it, and then it doesn't have an interface, so you can't really click on it. However, you need one of those terraformer blueprints. They have a few different ones, and you can see them right here. They have TFBP empty, cultivation, irrigation, chilling, desertification, flatification, and one more TFBP, and a few more maybe, mushroom, and looks like that's it. Okay, so again, that was cultivation, irrigation, chilling, desertification, that's a mouthful, flatification, and mushroom. These all do different things. This will flatten the land around it. This will turn all the dirt into desert, sand. And this will, I believe, make it all snow, freeze water, stuff like that. And basically they're used to change the area around you. Let's go ahead and plop in a mushroom thing here, and it'll go ahead and start. You can see that it's turning it all into mycelium, and occasionally it'll go ahead and plant down a mushroom. The mushrooms can then grow into the mushroom trees and get some very, very interesting landscapes from here. Definitely interesting indeed. See that mushroom has popped up, and let me go ahead and let this run for a little bit, and I'll be right back so that you can see the what's the word that I'm looking for? You could see what it does to the landscape. That's not the button that I wanted. Now, just to interrupt here, the terraformer does use quite a bit of EU. You can see it's draining out fairly quickly, so you are going to need slightly more than 1 million EU to, terraform your whole landscape. But again, I'm going to let this run a little bit more, and then I shall be back. And we're back here, and as you can see, I let this thing run a little bit. We got 1 mushroom tree growing. Now notice how the mushroom tree, the actual parts of it are being turned into mycelium. Now I believe this was originally a bug of some sort, but the developer of IndustrialCraft 2 decided to keep it because it produces some very, very, very interesting landscape. Yeah, I mean these mushrooms will go into more trees, and then the things on top of those will be turned into trees, and it's just insane. But it's very, very interesting to see, what happens out after a few hours of waiting. However, I am about tired of waiting, and I think I'm going to wrap up this part of the IndustrialCraft 2 mod showcase. I hope you guys have enjoyed this part of the showcase, and if you've missed any other part of my showcase for IndustrialCraft 2, please go ahead and check that out. The link should be in the description, and I should also have annotations in the video about popping up maybe at this time, though I'm not too sure what I'll do when I actually edit the video. But, like I said, go ahead and check those out. Hope you've enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next episode, in which case we will be covering the advanced items in the game. And, yeah. So, this has been DrawingKit1313. Again, hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you all later. Bye.